back. Today I am doing a video I'm very excited to do. I love children's books. I love them. I buy them for me just as much as I buy them for my own children and for my classroom. And I love the holidays. They go hand in hand. And early in my career, when you were a teacher, you could spend the entire month of October celebrating Halloween and getting it in different parts of the curriculum here and there. But then, the contents got stronger, the Common Core came out, and it feels a lot of time like fun has just been removed from school. There's no fun. And so the kids need a break. I need a break. You need a break. At some point you have to be able to work a little bit of fun back into the curriculum. And that's one of the big things that I really love about the Daily Five. The Daily Five and the cafe menu, it is strategies. It's a toolbox. And you are teaching children tools and strategies to help them become better readers. And my district, we also have the program called Making Meaning, and I like Making Meaning a lot, and it comes with a predetermined set of books to read to the classroom, and I use a lot of those books for my Daily Five. Daily Five, Cafe, Making Meaning, they kind of combine together quite seamlessly. But I like to swap out some of the books at certain points in the year. And so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a whole mess of my favorite Halloween books and tell you why I love them, how I incorporate them into my classroom, and just how I get fun back in school. And so one of the first two books I'm going to present to you, I love these books because they're just so useful. The first one is called Bats AtoZ by Rob Mize and Eva Mead, and this is an expository text or nonfiction book, and I love this book because it goes along with the strategies of, learning expository text features, recognizing expository text features. You use prior knowledge. Before you read this book to your class, you're going to ask your children, what do you already know about bats? You're accessing prior knowledge. And then because this is an ABC book, there are tons of interesting words in here. So you can use your cafe menu of tune into interesting words. You can write the words down, put them on flashcards, continue to learn more about them. You can use the words for working on words. This book just lends itself to so many of the cafe strategies that it's an absolutely amazing book, and the photography in here is stellar. It is just stellar photography, and kids like bats, and bats in October, they just go hand in hand. So this is one of the first books I like to read in the month of October, and again, I will hit expository text features, photography, using pictures, the interesting words, and it goes along really well with the Common Core, because Common Core is all about reading expository text. And then another thing that Common Core is really big on is comparing books. So after we read Bats AtoZ, the next one I'm going to read to the class is Stellaluna. This is a tried and true favorite. Children have loved the book Stellaluna forever and ever and ever. And one of the great things about Stellaluna is that even though it is a fiction story, it's a talking bat, talking birds, there is a ton of information, real information, incorporated in this book. They hang upside down, they can see in the dark, they eat fruit and a wide variety of things, and the children love these. And then you can even do your Venn diagrams and put, Stellaluna in one Venn, Bats AtoZ in the other. What information is shared information. So these two books will tie into the Common Core seamlessly. And if you have access, get yourself a little bat stuffed animal to have hanging in the classroom. I borrowed this. This is usually in my room right now, but I brought it home just for the making of this video. All right. And then moving on to another book that I love. I have a stack here of classics. So I'm going to go over some of the classic ones first. And this one is Scary Scary Halloween by Eve Bunting and pictures by Jan Brett. And as every teacher knows, Jan Brett is just an amazing illustrator. So one of the first things you're going to notice about this book is it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I love her use of colors, and it's a little scary looking without being too scary for the little ones. And now this book I love to use for teaching expression. Children, every year you have that group of kids in your book, in your class, who read very monotone. You know, their voices never go up, they never drop. And so I like to read this book to the kids and show them two ways of reading this book. And one of the first ones I'll do is I'll read it the way I like to read it, which is really spooky. I love to act out stories as I read into the class. So I'm going to read just a couple pages here. I peer outside. There's something there. Makes me shiver. Spikes my hair. It must be Halloween. A skeleton with bones so white they gleam and glimmer in the night has come for Halloween. A ghost goes trailing, drifting by, with sunken mouth and sunken eye. Ghost rise on Halloween. So I'm really passionate when I read to my kids. And I always feel sorry when I see a teacher reading to their classroom and they're kind of a boring reader. And so, but then I'll go back to the very beginning of this book and I'll model the same book to the kids with, I peer outside. There's something there that makes me shiver, spikes my hair. It must be Halloween. A skeleton with bones so white, they gleam and glimmer in the night, has come for Halloween. And right away the children will say, Miss Beitler, that book's not scary anymore. And so we'll talk together about what made it scary the first time. Why is it not scary the second time? And a couple kids will say, well, because we know it now. But a lot of the children will pick up on the difference expression makes when you're reading a book, because I love to work with the kids to even get them to use that expression even when they're reading quietly to their own self. I will actually do lessons in my classroom where I will tell the children to say something out loud, and they all say it. Then I'll tell them to say it again, but with their mouth closed. And what will happen is most of the children will hum it. And then I will say, okay, now say that sentence again using the voice in your head, not your mouth, not humming. Talk to yourself. And a lot of the kids will say, you know, I can hear myself. And I'm like, exactly. You can talk to yourself and you should be able to hear your thoughts and you should be able to hear the words being said in your head when you're reading a book. And books are a lot more fun if you're using expression even inside your own head when you're reading these books. Moving on to another favorite of mine is The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. And now I admit this is more geared to K through 3. I don't really read this one to my 4th graders, but I've taught all the grade levels. And, you know, even when you get to be a grades 4, 5, and 6 teacher, you know what? The children remember these books. They're kind of like old friends. So there's really nothing wrong with rereading a book that they heard earlier in their school days. So this is a really cute one though. And if you're familiar with it, you know, she's being chased by clothes and the clothes make sounds. So I'm just going to go straight to the last page here. And let me find it. So this time the little old lady did not stop to talk. She did not stop at all. She ran. But behind her she could hear 2 shoes go clomp clomp. 1 pair of pants go wiggle wiggle. 1 shirt go shake shake. 2 gloves go clap clap. 1 hat go nod nod, and 1 scary pumpkin head go boo boo. And if you've taught this book before, you know that by every time it adds another sound, by the end of the book, the entire classroom is saying all of the sound words with you, and it's really, really cute and adorable. And then this one is called Too Many Pumpkins by Linda White. And this is a story about an old woman named Estelle who hates pumpkins, positively hates them. But one fall day, a a pumpkin falls off a truck and it lands in her front yard. And she's like, I am not cleaning up this mess. I'm just going to bury it. Well, what happens? All those seeds in the pumpkins grow. And the next fall, she has too many pumpkins. They are everywhere. And so she's trying to get rid of them. And in the end, She makes lots of pumpkin treats and decorations, and the whole town comes to her house, and she kind of has a Halloween party. And by the end of the book, she doesn't hate pumpkins anymore, but she loves the fact that she had all these visitors come to her house, and so she actually keeps some of the seeds for next year to do it all again. Another favorite that I've had, I don't even know if this book's available anymore, it's so old, but this is called Monster Goose by Judy Sierra and illustrated by Jackie Davis. And this is a fun one when you have like a minute or two. You finish something early, you just gotta kill a little time. So here we go. Old Monster Goose, when conditions did suit her, pecked out these rhymes on her laptop computer. Mary had a vampire bat. His fur was black as night. He followed her to school one day and promised not to bite. She brought him out for show and tell. The teacher screamed and ran, and school was canceled for a week, just as Mary planned. And we'll do one last one here. Oh, okay. Here you go. Slithery dithery dock, the snake slid up the clock. She soon grew bored and bit the cord. It gave her quite a shock. The snake began to quake. The clock began to rock. At 4:30 they struck the floor. Smashery squashery dock. So the kids will always recognize the song, or that, oh, that's just like this one. And that's always lots of fun when that happens. Another one that I have, this book is so old that it's taped together in like a million places. It's all beat up. But this is called The 13 Nights of Halloween. And it's about a goblin who's in love with another goblin and wants to propose. So instead of giving her the 12 days of Christmas, he gives her the 13 nights of Halloween. And I don't know if I should actually sing this one to you or not, because I don't exactly have the best voice in the world, but oh, what the heck, let's go for it. On the 13th night of Halloween, my goblin gave to me 13 ghosts a booing, 12 vampires nibbling, 11 black cats hissing, 10 skeletons rattling, 9 bats a flying, 8 werewolves howling, 7 lizards creeping, 6 spiders spinning, 5 pounds of worms, 4 cackling witches, 3 jack-o'-lanterns, 2 hairy toads, and a spooky owl in a gnarled tree. And of course it goes through all the days, and the kids will start to sing with you as you go through this one. So it's just really fun. And then another old book I have that may not even be in print anymore is Halloween Pigs. And this is by Rita Balducci, illustrated by Doug Cushman. And this one, it's a twist on the 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf. Usually it's the wolf terrorizing the pigs. This time it's the pigs who dressed up as wolves to crash the wolves' Halloween party because they're so hungry. The wolf never lets them out to eat. So they eat everything in his house and just gorge themselves, and the other wolves are appalled. Who are these wolves? What are they doing? And they eat so much food that by the end of the night they pop right out of their costumes. And just when you think the wolves are going to eat the pigs, Little Red Riding Hood comes along wearing the huntsman's costume and saves them. So this is a really great book for predicting the endings and wondering what might happen. This is a really cute one. And then another couple books that I love, these are kind of newer books, and one is by John Grogan, and he does the Marley books, and I love the Marley books. It's based on the movie Marley and Me. And look at that puppy. Isn't he just the cutest thing in the world? And just like in the movie, Marley the puppy gets into all kinds of mischief and mayhem. And the children will laugh out loud at this book. And they get the jokes. It's so funny. And again, you can incorporate it with your cafe menu strategies. Or if you really think, I can't find anything in here to do a focus lesson on, you can do what I do. And at the end of the day, I have a 15-minute teacher read aloud, and I read to my class 5 days a week. You can fit these books in at that time of the day as well. And then another new one is Scaredy-Cat Splat. And Splat is a very nervous, very shy cat, and he's always holds back, where the other kittens are brave and want to daring. Splat's always afraid to try things, but he always comes out on top in the end. So it's kind of a a David and Goliath or an underdog story, and it's also, the illustrations are very cute. I'm all about the pictures and illustrations. I really am. If a book has horrible illustrations, it doesn't work for me. It really doesn't. And then this one is fun as well. We're Off to Find the Witch's House by Mr. Creeb, illustrated by R.W. Alley. And this is a, whoops, slippery book. This is a fun one because it's kind of sing-song. And it's also a really good book to use if you want to teach a hominin lesson about words that sound alike but have different spellings and different meanings. So, we're off to find the witch's house. Witch house, the witch's house. We're off to find the witch's house, but we're not afraid. No, we're not afraid. We're creeping down the witch's street. Which street? The witch's street. We're creeping down the witch's street, but we're not afraid. No, we're not afraid. Okay? And it just keeps going on through the whole book. And again, it's got beautiful illustrations, and the kids get into the sing-song. I have one last book I want to talk about for this video, and I apologize. I know it's getting really long, but most of my videos do. And this one's not a traditional Halloween book. It's more of an autumn book, and it's If You Give a Moose a Muffin by Laura Numeroff. And I know there's a lot of people who are not a fan of the Laura Numeroff books, because I'll be honest, even I think she took it too far. I love the first two, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie and If You Give a Moose a Muffin. But when it comes to the cat and the pig and the dog, the books just kind of follow the pattern too much, and it gets monotonous. But so with this one, If You Give a Moose a Muffin, the illustrations are perfect because you can tell it's definitely autumn. The leaves are falling, the trees are bare, there's pumpkins in the refrigerator, and all the activities that go on. And this is just another one of those books that's just fun. Lots of fun to read for the holiday. And Kohl's, I missed it. Last year they had all the stuffed animals that go with these books. I meant to get out there and get the moose and the mouse, and I missed it, and I was really disappointed. But so this is another great book for autumn, and I'm going to stop right there. I have more books here, but I will spare you because I know this video is way too long. So if you like this video, let me know in the comments, because I was thinking about doing a video of my favorite children's books for October, my favorite children's books for November and December, and then like winter season. And if you want to see more of these, let me know in the comments, or if you think, you know, nah, we don't need this, let me know that too, because maybe this is not your cup of tea. And with that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me in the future, click the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you later.